I mentioned when we brought up the Clamato, I mentioned the Bloody Bull and the Bloody Maria, and the Bloody Bull basically is just a regular Bloody Mary, but they add beef bouillon to the drink. So it's got that little, that little beef kind of taste and kick, and of course, beef bouillon. You have salt in that already, so it adds a different flavor to it. And then Bloody Maria is made not with vodka but with tequila. So you have a regular Bloody Mary made with tequila. So those are the basic variations on. Yeah, it sounds pretty dangerous. I've never had the Bloody Maria before. That would be something new for me too.
Yeah.
Now, before this was our Bloody Mary conversation. I'm going to give a quick recipe for the Bloody Mary in just a few minutes. But before I let you go, I wanted to ask you, you just put a post up over at CatholicDrinkie.com, I think it was yesterday, maybe Friday, about canned beer. What was that all about?
Well, there's a movement within the craft beer industry to put more of their beer in cans rather than in bottles. Historically, the craft beer has come exclusively in bottles. But if you go to any good beer store, you can check out a bunch of beers that have started putting things in cans. Fat Tire, which I think I've talked about before on the show, from New Belgium Brewery out in Colorado. They will be arriving in cans sometime in the near future, I think in the next couple weeks. And then just upstart breweries, some of these craft breweries, they're putting their beers in cans. They're discovering that it doesn't hurt the taste of the beer to be in a can instead of in a bottle, and it's easier for folks to carry around, especially during the summer or for football season when you tailgate. It's so much easier to carry a can than it is a bottle. I mean, even just the logistically how much it weighs. Cans weigh less than bottles.
Right. And it's funny, it was very timely that you had this article up because just last week, I ended up bumping into a guy I know who's a distributor for a craft beer brewery. And he was, I was looking at different beers. He was there. He was looking, he says, "Hey, have you ever tried this one or that one?" And it was in a can. I said, I kind of shy away from beers in cans. He says, "Why?" I was like, "Well, I mean, they're in cans." And he said, it's a common misconception because beer in cans actually stays fresher longer and kind of maintains that the purity of the beer from when it was actually, what do you call it? I don't want to say bottled, but I guess canned. Because when you have the beer in bottles, he says, it can be affected by light, but that won't happen when it's in a can. Very interesting stuff, and I love that article. That's
exactly right. There's a big movement for that.
And I love the article. I'm very curious to see how many craft breweries would actually pick up on this. Very, very interested in that. Well, Sarah.
Well, I saw a list, and I can't remember. I saw a list. I can't remember exactly how many it was, but it was getting high. I think it was maybe more than 20 have started to do this.
Wow. Anyway, I want to thank.
Yeah, let's do a letter writing campaign.
Oh yeah, we could do that. That's right. I want to direct everybody over to the post on canned beer over at CatholicDrinkie.com. And Sarah, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. It's always such an honor and a privilege to be on your show.
And if I'm not mistaken, we'll talk again next week, right?
Yeah, you got it. I'm real excited.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, that was Sarah Vabulas from she is the Catholic Drinkie from CatholicDrinkie.com. And it's such a pleasure to have her on the show. Good stuff. She just started this website, CatholicDrinkie.com, a couple of weeks back, right after the CNMC. Actually, she purchased the URL during a small group session. And I was in the small group when she bought the URL CatholicDrinkie.com. Very funny. But, she was inspired by the CNMC, all the good stuff going on, especially the blogging section. And she wanted to start a blog. She loves beer. And hey, voila, there it is. So we are thinking of having Sarah on to help us out with our aperitif section each episode. I'm very excited about that. So you can look forward to having Sarah back on the show next week.
I'd like the chef salad, please, with the oil and vinegar on the side and the apple pie a la mode.
Chef and apple a la mode.
But I'd like the pie heated, and I don't want the ice cream on top. I want it on the side, and I'd like strawberry instead of vanilla if you have it. If not, then no ice cream, just whipped cream, but only if it's real. If it's out of a can, then nothing.
Not even the pie?
No, just the pie, but then not heated.
Uh-huh.
I'll have what she's having.
Well, in our appetizer section, there are a couple of things we're going to talk about. One of them that I'd like to start off with is, our 79 possible cookbook titles. If you listened to last episode, you know that this whole Catholic Foodie cookbook project is going to be, we're gearing up for a launch, folks. Matter of fact, I've got a new URL over there at cookbook.catholicfoodie.com, and that's going to be the place where you can learn or follow everything that we do from beginning to end. This whole project, this whole process of writing via podcast a cookbook, a Catholic Foodie cookbook, which, by the way, is going to be a fun endeavor. This is, kind of the New Orleans-y, the heart of New Orleans, the jazzy sort of fun Mardi Gras kind of thing, but talking about food and faith and really tracing or following food throughout salvation history. So I'm going to bring that New Orleans flair to food and faith in a cookbook type thing. A cookbook type thing. Anyway, just this past week, I put on CatholicFoodie.com a list of 79 possible titles that I came up with, and I've had several people make comments on that particular post, which you can find at CatholicFoodie.com/cookbooks-titles. If you haven't put your 2 cents in yet, and 2 cents ain't much, you know what I'm saying? We all have kind of 2 cents, even though there's the expression, I can't rub 2 pennies together. But pretty much everybody's got 2 cents. Go over to CatholicFoodie.com/cookbook-titles and tell me which one you think should be the title of the Catholic Foodie cookbook. Also in this aperitif section, just a quick reminder, we have a new Catholic Foodie newsletter coming. That's right. First issue is going to go out in the middle of September. I have got some absolutely incredible contributors lined up, folks. You're not going to believe the people who are going to be contributing to this newsletter. You are definitely going to want to be on the list. You're going to want to get this. You're talking about, we got recipes. We've got featured like a drink of the month. We've got a featured recipe of the month. We've got reviews on kitchen gadgets, reviews on cookbooks. We've got reflections on food and faith. We have family stories. We've got so many things. You're going to love this, and you really want to sign up for it. You need to go to CatholicFoodie.com/newsletter. And I'm going to go there right now. CatholicFoodie.com/newsletter. And let me see what's up here, because I know I'm forgetting something as far as the contents go. That's right. Featured recipes, featured drinks of the month, reflections on food and faith, reviews of kitchen gadgets, cookbook reviews, updates on the Catholic Foodie Cookbook Project, answers to questions submitted by you, and also a weekly prayer before meals, or before meals prayers that I'll put in there. It's going to be a monthly newsletter, but I'm going to put 4 of those prayers in there each issue. That way you've got one a week. And all these prayers, by the way, kind of reflect my thinking, my approach to the whole food and faith thing, which is really what the cookbook's all about. So you're getting little condensed portions, right? Portions of the cookbook in these prayers. So that's what you are going to get. Just go over to catholicfoodie.com/newsletter and sign up.
True love, you heard him? You could not ask for a more noble cause than that.
Sonny, true love is the greatest thing in the world. Except for nice MLT, mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich when the mutton is nice and lean and the tomato is ripe. They're so perky. I love that.
That's right. We are in the salad portion, believe it or not. And just a health tip. Here's a health tip. Very simple. To the point. Drink more water. That is the health tip of the week, folks. Drink more water. If you want to know more about that, you can see, you go to mcvitamins.com/water. Now, I'm going to have to tell you this. I can't believe these people haven't been sued yet. McVitamins? Come on. mcvitamins.com/water. And, I remember a couple of years ago, Father Roderick talking about a website he started called McFaith. I believe it was called McFaith. And he was actually approached by the attorneys of McDonald's, and they said, man, you got to stop. You have to stop or we have to sue you. So McVitamins, I wonder how long they're going to be around. But you can go as far as, this afternoon, you can go to mcvitamins.com/water, and you'll find plenty of information there. Some of it sort of militaristic, I guess, radical, about water. And, it kind of links water to a lot of problems, a lot of illnesses, even like cancer and stuff. So I don't know how far you want to take that. But the fact is that most of us in America today, I don't know about Europe, but in America today, most of us are to some extent dehydrated. It recommends that we eat, that we drink at least 8 glasses of water, 8-ounce glasses of water a day. And, most people don't. We're too busy drinking Coca-Cola and Sprite and Pepsi and coffee. That would be me. Coffee right here. That's me. Right here. Juice or iced tea or all these other things and not water. The good news for me, I don't necessarily get 8 cups in, but after I finish my second cup of coffee, now they're big cups. I agree. Big, huge cups. That is true. But after I finish my second one, it's just water the rest of the day. Unless, of course, we have a glass of wine or a beer or a cocktail or something like that before dinner. Other than that, it's water. I just don't think I hit enough. I don't think I get enough. Definitely don't hit 8 glasses a day. So that's your health tip for the week. Drink more water. McVitamins.com/water.
Oh, you gotta taste this! It's got this kind of it's burning, melty. It's not really a smoky taste. It's a certain, it's kind of like a, it's got like this boom, zap kind of taste. Don't you think? What would you call that flavor?
Lightning-y?
Yeah, it's lightning-y. Oh, we gotta do that again. Okay, when the next storm comes, we'll go up on the roof. I know what this needs. Saffron. A little saffron would make this.
Saffron. Why do I get the feeling
it's in the kitchen?
I was thinking about this just now. I think I have to come up with a different bumper because we're talking about in the kitchen. We're not going in the kitchen. We're at the dining room table. And guess what? We're going to have our main course. And our main course today, as I mentioned in the intro, we're going to be talking about Hurricane Katrina. And, so much can be said. Today is the 5th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, the landfall of Hurricane Katrina. Wow, so much can be said about this, just on a personal level, but people around the world, people right here, of course, in the New Orleans area, Louisiana, all the Gulf South are probably, you have a lot of different emotions, different reactions going on today. There have been things I've seen in the media of kind of an awareness of suicide because they're worried that people might become suicidal, kind of thinking back over the last 5 years or 5 years ago and what they went through and the sufferings they endured. That's a scary thought, definitely.